What's poppin', T Squad? It's me, Keisha, and I am here with my all tea, all shade. Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 3, Episode 2 review. If you guys are not subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button right now and get it popping over here with the T Squad. Remember, it's all entertainment, all love, all jokes. Nothing is to be taken seriously. If you're a stick in the mud, then this is not the channel for you because what? We get it popping over here. Now, on tonight's episode, we see the new intro to Love and Marriage Huntsville. Let's go down with the looks. Kimmy and Maurice killed it. Loved both of their looks. Everything was suited and booted from head to toe. Destiny looked pretty, but her dress was kind of boring to me, and it just faded into the background, which was pretty much all white. I wish they would have did more with the background too. Somebody that obviously despises Tisha did her hair and makeup. They gave her mama's family realness with the hair. That makeup was way too dark for her skin complexion. It was just it was too harsh. Her hair was an old granny mess. It just looked a mess. Marceau's suit was too big. It looked like he got it from Men's Warehouse or at the flea market or at the thrift store, and like he pieced it together. Martell wore something straight out of The Color Purple as usual. Like, he loves to give us an old 1800 suit. And Mel had every bundle available in Huntsville on her head. She looked pretty though, but it was just way too much hair. But she looked beautiful nonetheless. So we start off the episode with Kimmy is at the office with Maurice, and she wants his opinion on this whole Tisha situation to make sure she not tripping. We can tell you ain't tripping, girl. You ain't tripping at all. Not a bit. You ain't stumbled. You ain't failed. So she tells him that Tisha says she don't check on her and that she told Tisha, that I know what you've been saying about me, so why would I be checking up on you? Like, Kimmy, don't even worry your pretty little head about Tisha and this foolishness because you literally are going to give yourself a migraine and I ain't got no more Excedrin to give your ass. So Tisha's at home talking to Marceau and she tells him about their conversation. And Marceau tells her that, you can't be caring too much about it or whatever. And I'm like, you need to be telling her she fucking wrong and that she keep on damaging and destroying relationships. That's what you need to be telling her ass. So Tisha, her confessional, gonna say, I've given Kimmy my expectations and hopefully she can abide by them. And if not, then it is what it is. Who the fuck are you talking to? Talking about you done gave her your expectations and hopefully she can abide by them. Bitch, you ain't the police. You ain't the law. Who the fuck are you? Girl, get the fuck out of here. Please get the fuck out of here and go to sleep. Have several. Go to speech therapy. Get you a Rosetta Stone. That's what you need to be abiding by. Getting that speech together. So Kimmy tells Maurice that Tisha says she wants her to change herself to suit her and she ain't gonna do it. And I was like, once again, talking to Tisha will make you bust a vein. And ain't nobody got time for her and her foolishness. Let Marceau and her mammy and her goofy looking brother and her transgender looking cousin Kiki Kevin deal with her ass. Jesus Christ. So Marceau tells Tisha that her family came to the party to check him about having an outside baby or whatever. And Tisha was like, they need to stop listening to the blogs and this, that, and the third. And she was like, and if you did have an outside child of me, I would divorce you and take you for everything you have. That was about the realest thing that I could see her saying on this show. I do honestly believe that if she found out he was cheating on her, she would leave him. But Tisha know what's up. So Mel in her confessional, she says Martell has really been throwing jabs on social media, so I'm not feeling him right now. But he's coming over to pick up the kids, so I got to put my game face on. It's really fucked up that you even have to put your game face on when dealing with somebody that you was with for 14 years. It's the whole dynamics of just breaking up with somebody in general is just so fucked up and weird because you have to literally close yourself off from that person and distance yourself from that person like you don't even know them and like you haven't shared morning, noons, and nights and deep conversations and sex and love and death and crying and all these things with this person. And it's like that you have to literally make that person become a stranger. It's so weird. Um, so I didn't realize that Mel in her confessional, she had a bump it. Mel had a bumpy. She had a French roll and she had a bumping on the inside. I need for whoever did that hairstyle to never do it again. First of all, I just love Mel with short hair. Short hair just looks so much better on her. And don't you ever let nobody put a 9.99 bump it in your head. So she lets Martell in the house. It's his first time being inside her house, but then she escort his ass right back outside so they can talk. And so she brings up him not abiding by the custody rules and saying that, he can't get the kids, but then she see him online at events. Martell was like, just like when you say you're sick and end up in Georgia. Now, I don't know if they edited it out, but sis didn't have nothing to say. So it seemed like they both been playing hot potato with them goddamn kids. So he brings up social media and the stuff that she says and says how does she know what he posts because he don't know what she posts. Boy, by any Ray Charles know you stalk her page. Y'all stalk each other. So Mel was like, yes, you do. Martell was like, you can't come at me cussing me out. So he's referring to her calling him and cussing him out when he posted the picture of their little bitty baby going to school for the first day. And that's when he decided to announce to the world that he had a fifth child or whatever. So Mel was like, you disrespected me for the longest. You went on a whole tour. So they then show his interview with Heavenly and Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey stuff came afterwards, though. So Mel was like, even Funky Dineva said you called him. And they showed a clip from her interview with Funky Dineva and Martell calling during their live conversation. Martell was like, I called him when you was trying to dog me out and lie. Okay, she ain't called Heavenly when you was on there dogging her the fuck out. Boy, sit down. So Mel was like, I don't lie. Or we can just get someone to help us with co-parenting. So surprisingly, Martell agrees. So she goes in the house to go get the kids and he knocked on the door. And then Miss Vanessa, Mel's mom, lets him in. And he tried to hug her and she was kind of like, fuck off of me, nigga. Miss Vanessa, her mom watches my reviews. I love her mom. She looks so pretty, looks so gorgeous. And you handled yourself really well, Miss Vanessa. You was a classy lady. You was really elegant. You gave us sophistication and all of that. I wouldn't have, but I'm happy for you. So she makes a comment about the nasty stuff that he's been posting and says, that eventually they're going to talk, but today's not the day. So Martell was like, I don't think we should because, a lot of things have been said out of anger. First of all, don't do her like that. Don't do her like that. She didn't disrespect you. She just simply stated what's been occurring and asked, could we talk about it? Don't sit up here and do that lady like that. Don't do her. Do not. So Miss Vanessa raises her hand, was like, you can save it. You could save it. And Martell was like, kids, hurry up because your grandmother just gave me the hand. And I don't appreciate that. And Miss Vanessa was like, why would you say something like that to them kids? And he was like, don't disrespect me when I come over here. Baby, Miss Vanessa, I love you for being elegant, for being, sophisticated, for keeping your composure. But see, me, I would have taken that belt that you had wrapped around your waist and whipped him like his idol and Django whipped that white boy. I would have beat the shit out of Martell because who the fuck are you talking to? You are not about to disrespect me. First of all, I'm your elder. First of all, I didn't disrespect you. And secondly, thirdly, you've been disrespecting my daughter, so there's so much that I could say to you, so you better be happy I didn't, bitch, you bald head heifer. So, I can't stand that man. So, he gets the kids and he goes back outside. And all I got to say is, Miss Vanessa and Mel are better women than I will ever be because ain't no way in hell I'm going to even sit up here and waste my breath, give my time of day to a nigga with a too little button up shirt, jorts. This nigga had on jean shorts, jorts, okay, and fucking penny loafers. Nigga, you can't even dress yourself. How the fuck am I supposed to have a conversation with your ass? Them sleeves was literally sitting up here like, help me. Oh my damn, this nigga, you can't breathe. Like Martell literally walks around with his own blood pressure machine with this sleeve. Them sleeves are his personal blood pressure machine to check his blood pressure throughout the day. Like, nigga, you got like fucked up. Boy, fuck you. So, Kimmy and Maurice talked to Monster about what he gonna do for the summer. Y'all know I hate that little boy name. I just think it's the worst nickname that you could ever give a child. Monster. Ugh. So he said he gonna cut grass, but they called him out because they was like, you don't even cut our grass. So how you gonna cut somebody else's grass? So they asked him what school he gonna decide to go to for high school, and he picks the school. So they called Kiowa to let her know. And Maurice called Kiowa, and he having a whole conversation with Kiowa, and Kimmy sitting there. He does not include her in the conversation. And Kimmy was like, we're all here today. You know, she had to insert herself into the conversation, and there lies the problem. Maurice still does not know how to include her or does not want to include her. He's the central denominator and part of the issues between Kiowa and Kimmy because he doesn't initiate the relationship and include her, but you want to include her in the day-to-day shit, but then when it come down to y'all sitting together as parents, you don't want to include her. And you got me fucked up. Don't ask me to do nothing for your child. Okay, if you're not going to include me when it really matters, you know it don't work like that. So, Kimmy speaks to Kiowa, and they're very pleasant with one another. And she tells Kiowa that she's gonna plan a party for the kids, and that she wants her to be there. Kiowa agrees to go. Kimmy in her confessional says, Maurice always acts like I'm not sitting right here. I would think as the bonus mom, I would be included in conversations. Period. Period. Or don't ask me to do nothing for him. Okay. So Kiowa says that at some point she wants to meet up with them and talk because the last time they spoke, things didn't go well. Kimberly was like, I appreciate the extension. Good to see they're at least trying to step it up and build a rapport with one another and fix things and start anew. But Maurice got to get on board and stop acting like Kimmy don't got no say so and shit. When she's the one there day in, day out taking care of y'all child. Y'all got me fucked up. So Mel is at the office when her friend Tiffany stops by. Tiffany is a new cast member. Tiffany is a very pretty woman. She came in with her Howard Hewitt hairdo. Really wasn't feeling it, but you go head on, girl. So Mel congratulates her on her marriage. She's recently married. Tiffany has been divorced though before. Mel wants her to help her to hire some interns from HBCUs. Mel then tells her, that we need to hang out together. My girl Destiny about to have something for her birthday. Have y'all met? And Tiffany was like, no, I've never met her before. So she was like, I think you will like her. She a straight shooter. She tell it like it is, but I think y'all get along. So they was like, bet, we gonna all get together. And we know next week shit is about to go down. So Martell goes over to Chris' house to talk. Chris tells him about the 40 acres and how it has closed. Martell is happy about this. So Chris was like, the developer wanted me to talk to Melody about building some homes. Martell was looking like, the fuck? What the fuck you talking about? Immediately got mad. So Chris was like, Mel said she didn't want to have any conflict. She wanted me to talk to you about it first. And he was like, well, and I would think that you would have thought that too. You should have talked to me first about anything. How do I feel about this? I agree. The common courtesy would have been for him to talk to Martell about it first because they are friends and he did bring him in on the deal. So just give me the common courtesy of even letting me know before you even hit Mel up. You know what I'm saying? But this is why it is very tricky to do business with friends. It really is. And that's why you got to be careful with the whole situation. But I understood where Martell was coming from with the situation. But Martell at the end of the day is a hater and he don't want to see nobody do better than him. So, and especially not Mel. So, Chris was like, I can see why you would feel that way. Martell says, why would you go to Melody? Chris says, I get what you're saying, but that's the client. He was looking at it like, who has the builder's license? Martell get to speaking in third person like he always do, which lets you know he is a sociopath. He was like, Martell do. Martell got this, that, or third. But you're lying because you don't, because y'all literally just set up here in the when you first sat down with Chris and he was saying that he's studying for his builder's license and you said how you failed. So you can't do shit because you ain't got your own fucking license. So shut up. So Martell was like, I'm the person that built the houses. You know my situation. Martell is trying to get up off his ass and get back to being busy. Well, bitch, you did this to yourself, and now you have to suffer the consequences of your fuck boy actions. So Martell was like, do you plan on building in them 47 acres? And Chris was like, I thought about it. And you know what's funny to me? I can't even feel sorry for Martell because you're getting back what you've done to Mel and everybody else in your life. You didn't give a fuck about nobody's feelings. You didn't respect them. You shitted on everybody. And like I told y'all on this channel, I tell y'all this all the time. Karma is real and you will reap what you sow, and you never know how this shit gonna come back on your ass. And this is just one example of how Martell is getting his just due. He never expected for Chris to be one of the people that shit on him and go behind his back and do some shady shit and really not give a fuck about it. Boo. So Martell was like, so you wanted to party with my ex-wife. It's all coming to the light now. Shame on you, man. Because he knows that Melody was the brains behind this whole thing, and that was most definitely proven in tonight's episode. You like to act like you was the man, like you was the Berry Gordy of it all, and she was just the Diana Ross, but it was the reversal, bitch. She was the brains behind this thing. So he was like, shame on you. Chris was like, I'm looking at it from a business standpoint. I have to do what the client asks. You combining business and personal. And at that moment, he made it clear, like, we cool, but at the end of the day, when it comes to this business shit, when it comes to this bread, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit you talking about. And I was like, talk that talk, Chris. So Martell was like, you my boy. You supposed to let him know Martell made this happen. I sold the land. Chris was like, and I put in the damn work. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, sir? Like, nigga, what? Like, Martell want to be so much bigger than what he actually is. And I'm like, that's part of the reason why you're in this predicament now where you ain't got shit. Because you let go of the person that was your blessing. I told y'all Mel was the blessing in this situation. And now that she is not in the center of it, those blessings that God was raining down upon her are no longer sprinkling down on him. Oh, that was, ooh, I just spoke a word. Yes, God. So Mel and Martell meet up to go to counseling. And in this episode, they're back to doing confessionals together. I had conflicting feelings about them doing confessionals together. I just, for my sanity and for my peace, I would not want to be anywhere near this man unless I absolutely have to. And that is a choice to be in a confessional scene with him. I wonder, was that something that the producers asked? Would you guys be willing to do this? And they agreed. Was it one of their decisions? But I just, for myself, if I was male, I wouldn't even want to deal with this nigga if I don't fucking have to. Just would not. But from the flip side of it, Mel and Martell do make a good team. If they can get past the bullshit and learn how to just deal with each other on some business and co-parenting shit, they could rule the motherfucking world together. They really honestly could. They could be like The Rock and Danny Garcia. The Rock and his ex-wife have 7 Pounds Productions, their production company together. They both moved on in different relationships, but she manages his career. They work together on all his movie deals and this, that, and the third. And they have built an empire together, even though they are in separate relationships. If they could do that, it would be great. But they will never be able to because there's too much hate. There's too much anger, hurt, and animosity there. Things ended horribly, and Martell, of all things, will never allow it to move any further than where it is now because he's a chauvinistic psychopath, fucking deranged person. He's like crazy. So Martell in the confessional says it seemed to me that Dr. Francis was a little biased, so I hope this lady isn't. No, Dr. Francis wasn't biased. You just don't like nobody to tell your ass the truth. You wanted somebody to kiss your ass and high five you on your fuck shit, and he was holding your ass accountable. So the counselor asked how the kids are, and of course Martell was like, they're good, they're great. I don't want them to ever, go to counseling if it's not needed and disrupt anything. Like, you could not possibly believe that those kids are doing fine. Mel interjects and was like, Mariah has become more reserved. Malia up here writing songs about why you break my heart. I can see that little girl doing that too. And then she was like, more importantly, their son holds resentment against their father. And what did I tell y'all last season? That little boy gonna grow up to resent and hate that nigga. And he gonna knock your ass in your fucking shit as soon as he get big enough. So Mel brings up him not getting the kids when it's his time and her having them for weeks on end. And Martell, honestly, I was shocked, didn't dispute that. He was like, no excuses, but that is an excuse. Like, but okay. He was like, no excuses, but I'm going through a lot financially, and then I'm getting my children. You going through a lot financially and got shit to do with you spending time with your kids. Make it work, bitch. Make it do what it do. God damn it. So Mel was like, she kind of like shake her head. He was like, don't do that. He just gets so aggravated because once again, Mel holds him accountable for his fuck shit, and he don't want to be reminded of the things that he's done and that he's doing, because Martell lives in this delusional land of I'm perfect, I've done nothing wrong, I'm the victim, and fuck everybody else is crazy. So Martell was like, I'm not working as much since I've had them. I do so much with them, and lately I can't do as much. And Mel tears up because, and like she says in her confessional, you can't be with somebody for 14 years and see them hurt and not feel no type of way. Like, that means I never gave a fuck about this nigga. And she got teary eyed or whatever, because she feels sorry for him, because she knows in the bottom of her heart that this nigga ain't surviving without my ass. I was the one that held this glue of a nigga together, and without me, this motherfucker is falling apart. And you low-key feel sorry for this motherfucker, because I did love him. He is the father of my children. But then you got to remind yourself that I didn't do this. He did this to him, and you have to suffer the consequences of your actions. You gonna pay for it. You gonna pay for it. Ain't no way around that shit. So Martell gets emotional too. And he was like, ain't nobody got my back. Even though I made my bed and I'm sleeping in it, I understand, I accept it, but hold on, I'm sorry. He getting emotional. And Mel, being the caring person that she is, tried to she rubbed his arm. And he told me some, back up, Mel, I hate it. Why you doing it? See, you can't even be nice to these niggas. That's why I said I wouldn't even be bothered with him if I didn't have to, because you can't even be nice to a nigga like him for 5 fucking seconds, because he gonna quickly remind you why you want to stab him in his fucking esophagus. So the counsel was like, is it hard for you to accept when she's being that emotional support? And he was like, yeah. And it's hard for him to accept it because Mel, like I said, is doing well. She's doing good. She's thriving, and he's not. He's not. And he fucking hates that shit. So he admits it. He was like, yeah, it is hard for me. So Mel was like, he saw me many a days in the closet with a blanket over my head crying, but you don't get to stop because you have 5 children. You don't get to lay down. And I don't even think in this particular moment she was trying to be funny. She was trying to be shady. She was trying to put 10 on 20. I think that she was honestly giving him sound advice. Like, yeah, you going through shit, but you got kids that you got to raise and take care of. You don't get to have no woe is me moments. If you do get them, you got it for 5 minutes and you got to keep it the fuck moving. Keep it trucking. But of course, because he don't want to be called out on his bullshit, because he don't want to be held accountable, he's like, why are you doing that? We talking about the 4 children you and I have. I don't want to talk about that, so stop doing it. Martell in his confession was like, they know they dad cheated. You told them that, talking about the kids. I'm like, why don't you want to talk about your 5th child? Why? Why? You ashamed? Why? And now you're going to have a 5th child that sees that you didn't even want to acknowledge me, talk about me, post me, nothing. Like, he just steady fucking up. Like, your kids are going to come back and see all of this shit. All of it. You laid down and nutted up in this bitch and got her pregnant not once but twice. You better fucking acknowledge your child. Acknowledge him. He here. Don't do that baby like that. That baby ain't did nothing to nobody. The baby is the most innocent party in all of this. Don't do that child like that. So Martell, like I said in his confession, was like, they know they dad cheated. You told them that. And Mel was like, they know that from the fussing and fighting that was going on in the house that they witnessed, sir. So Martell was like, and I told you to be quiet. Mel was like, and the whole time I said to you, please stop doing it. Please stop doing it. Like, she get his ass together every time. Martell gonna tell me, you gotta keep in mind that kids are vulnerable. And Mel said, and you should have kept that in mind and kept your penis in our household, and maybe we wouldn't even be here. Like, she always gonna have a rebuttal, sir. Like, you put your foot in your mouth all the time. So Martell say we wouldn't be here. Mel was like, you beg me back every day, Martell ho. And Martell was like, that's a lie. Mel was like, it's okay if you want your family and your wife back. And Martell said, I wouldn't utter such a word if we didn't have children. Okay, girl. Like, stuff like that is like irrelevant at this point. I wouldn't even waste my time going back and forth with him about stupid shit like this. All this does is show that both of you niggas still care. Both of you niggas still care. Because when you are truly done with a motherfucker, you going to protect your peace at all costs. And it's kind of disappointing in me to see Mel even interacting with this nigga outside of their children. Because you steady allowing this negative, toxic ass energy into your life and you don't have to. It make my head hurt. I don't even know this nigga. Like, Jesus Christ. So, Mel was like, I know our children don't know about the other child, and I've asked him when he's gonna tell them. Martell was like, I don't want to discuss that right now. Sweeping it under the rug like the shit ain't there. So the counselor tells him about her experience, with her ex-husband having a child on her, and tells them at this point they need to find a way to come together as a team because that's the most important thing. And they actually agree on it and they high five. So they go outside and they're talking. And I'm just like, Mel, don't let you having a caring heart suck you into working with him outside of co-parenting. Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to yourself. That confessional was the first sign. I'm like, don't let this nigga give you this sob story. It was, I can't do it without you. Because that's what he's saying behind the scenes. I need your help, this, that, and the third. Don't do it because it's going to bite you in the ass. It's going to bite you in the ass. You got to remember this nigga is still a snake. He's still a snake. He's still a snake. Don't do it, Bernie. Don't let him weasel his way into your life via business. You're going to regret it. Don't do it. Don't fucking do it. So Martell thanks her for having his back with the 47 acres thing and says because it wasn't a good look. And she was like, I don't see how it wasn't a good look. She was like, I'm still considering. So Martell was like, so you going to build houses on it? And she was like, I told him to send me the specs. Martell going to say, girl, your ass ain't never built no house. And Mel was like, I ain't never seen you lay a brick, do a foundation, do nothing. Martell told him, stop. I don't like that. And Mel was like, well, nigga, you started it. And they just going back and forth arguing like two motherfucking kids on a playground. And it was actually kind of a little bit funny. But it's just like, no, like, girl, I'm telling you, this nigga is Satan's spawn. Don't even allow that negative energy into your life. And we see this season where it's going to go. I'm telling you, can't give a nigga like him an inch because he'll make you look like a fool every time. So that is my review on Love and Marriage Huntsville. I give tonight's episode an A. Let me know what you guys thought about tonight's episode. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell button. I love you guys, and I will see you for my Raising Kanan review. Love you. Bye.